Hello. My name is Callista, and welcome back to the Forgotten City. In the last episode, we gathered the final plaque. We have all 4 of them. We jumped down this hole, which does look very similar to, this looks very similar to the setup from the beginning of the game. You know, where we came through a giant hole and we fell in some water. Yeah, we jumped down after the Sumerian plaque. We have all 4. We just have to, get back to, we just have to get back to the surface. Now, this could be rather difficult because there are moving statues. Daz, please don't. Please don't do this. I don't need this in my life right now. Yeah, there are moving statues down here. Why there are moving statues, I don't know. Considering the other statues, they moved because Navia peeled them. These ones, they don't look peeled, they just look old. So I am quite curious as to why there are moving statues down here, but I want to forge ahead. So, hey-ho. Stranger, heed the final words of Namkazu. Bear witness to our aftermath and lament us. We did our best to live as the gods commanded. We planted and harvested together. We shared bread and beer. We accepted newcomers with open arms as if family. But with each newcomer, the bonds of our family strained, and soon we were as strangers to each other. And when those bonds were finally broken, my brothers and sisters planted only for themselves and ate and drank alone. And it was there, in the empty space between us, that sin took root. Nurgle's sentinels have awoken and clamour at our barricades, learn from our I would assume that is learn from our mistakes. Oh, I am sorry, Namkazu. Dad, don't look at me. Don't look at me. I have this instinct to rush because now that we have all of the plaques, a corroded black brass plate with Sumerian markings on it. It appears to be a pressure plate for some kind of... No, thank you. Not today. Not today, Satan. But yeah, I feel this instinct to hurry because with the 4 plaques, that's everything. That's everything. Yeah, the only quest we have left is Point of Origin, which is to create a time paradox and returning all 4 plaques. That's it. Those are the only quests we have left. And I would assume that creating a time paradox is... So I know there are 4 endings. I know there are 4 endings to this game, and I would assume... I'm just like, be careful. Be careful. Hello? Is that another... Yeah, another pressure plate. Okay, not today. Ooh, okay, well that looks promising. That's where we were. You know what, I'ma get through this, and then I can give my thoughts. Oh, saving. That's either very good or very bad. Ooh.
When I told you that you would not find a way back up, that was not a prediction. That was a promise. You will die here.
Okay, there's no need for this to end in violence. Get out of my way, or you'll be the one who dies. This guy's got a bow and arrow pointing at us. Let's not get aggro. There's no need for this to end in violence.
I disagree. I warned you against coming down here, against perpetuating this sacrilege, but you persisted. You have undermined and dishonored the true god of the underworld. How did you think this would end, if not with bloodshed?
Just hear me out.
Very well, I will listen. But if I sense deception, or if you further insult my gods, I will carry out my threat. So tell me, why should I let you live after you salvaged this instrument of blasphemy?
If something deserves to be, if something can be destroyed by the truth, it deserves to be destroyed by the truth. I wholeheartedly agree with this. However, this is quite aggro. There's no shame in building on the works of people who came before you. I'm just trying to replace all the plaques taken from the desecrated obelisk. I love how tired that one is. I agree with both of these. But this is gentler. This guy literally said, hey, if I sense any lies or if you slag off my people, I'll have you. I think we should be gentle here. There's no shame in building on the works of people who came before you.
That may be true of many things, but this is different. If our gods were copied and corrupted from an older civilization, does that not mean they are false? Does that not mean our prayers to our gods all fell on deaf ears because we were not even addressing them by their true names?
I suppose it does. It wouldn't have made any difference. I don't think the gods answer anyone's prayers. If gods exist, isn't it possible they each have more than one true name? I mean, I have more than one true name. Plenty of people call me Callista. Plenty of people call me by my actual name. Like, I have more than one true name, and that's me, a mere mortal. Surely gods would have plenty. If gods exist, isn't it possible they each have more than one true name?
Now that I think about it, my people would sometimes call Osiris the god of many names. Perhaps it is so. But the underworld of my people is so different to this one, and so unlike the way it was described by our priests. Many of my ancestors endured great hardship to live good lives so that we may descend to the Duat in death and be judged accordingly. We prepare to have our hearts weighed on Anubis' scales and to swear ourselves innocent of sin before the 42 assessors of Ma'at. And yet, I arrive here to find the Book of the Dead contained only a seed of truth. And now I ask myself, did our priests steal and embellish the stories of an older people and feed us lies all our lives simply to trick us into obedience?
Probably, but you can blame your priests for that, not me. Isn't being a good person a worthwhile pursuit? Yeah, let's not get aggro. Isn't being a good person a worthwhile pursuit in and of itself?
I am not sure I follow. Speak plainly.
Even if your beliefs about the afterlife weren't quite accurate, isn't the important thing that they motivated you to live good lives? If you were only good in life because you expected a reward, were you really a good person? I feel this. This is something that kind of scares me about some people who are deeply religious. You know, the kind of people who say like, oh, if you don't have the promise of heaven, then, you know, there's nothing stopping you from raping and murdering. No. As an atheist, I don't believe in the reward of heaven. I don't rape and murder because I have no desire to rape and murder. Like, why would I? That's fucked up. Also, you're saying that the only reason why you don't do that is because you have the hopes of like, oh, I'll be rewarded in the afterlife. Like, that's scary. That says a lot more about you than it does about anyone else. It's terrifying. This is quite an aggro thing to say, though. Just for, like, you were a good person, let's focus on that. Even if your beliefs about the afterlife weren't quite accurate, isn't the important thing that they motivated you to live good lives?
Perhaps there is some truth in that. What is your point?
Are you going to abandon a lifetime of good character now that it matters most, just because you found out you were misled?
You are persuasive. Very well. I will let you live, and you may do what you will with that plaque. I will remain here for a while, and attempt to learn what I can about the foundations of my people's beliefs. Go.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, buddy. There we go. Avoid the pressure plate. Thank you. He's not a bad fella. He's just distressed. He's just learnt something major about his civilization and his religion. Like, he's just a wee bit stressed. Are you alright, darling?
You again. What is it now?
Okay, you don't have anything else. I'll be going now.
Of course. As the Romans say, may fortune smile on you.
Okie doke. Okie doke. Goodbye, Khabash. Now let me out. Let me out from this cursed place. All I can think is, like, why were... Oh, hello. Where in the hell am I? Oh, This is a locked door. Okay, I know exactly where I am. I know exactly where I am. Okie doke. Yeah, why were there living statues down here? Why were they down... You know what? We're not going to question it. We're not going to question it. We're just going to go. We're going to make a beeline. We're going to make a beeline. We have got all 4 plaques. No, put that down. There you go, darling. No, down. Down. There we go.
Ah, you've returned.
Indeed, and I found Khabash.
Good to see you again, friend. Did you find what you need?
Okay, and you don't have anything. Okay, I'll be going now.
I enjoyed our chat, but please, keep my presence here a secret, yes?
All right, I will. Yes, it's no worries, mate. No worries. I'm not gonna dob you in. You're free to live out your days in the caves, philosophizing to yourself. But I am going to go and deal with this. I have all 4 plaques. The only other quest I have is to create a time paradox. So what I was saying before, I'm aware that there are 4 endings. I'm aware that there are 4 different... Oh, hello. I'm aware that there are 4 different endings, and I would assume that they're... I would assume it's like, okay, you've got the bad ending, you've got, like, the alright ending, you've got, like, a pretty good ending, and then you've got, like, the best ending. That's normally how these things go. The endings are kind of ranked. And the endings I can see, so we can create a time paradox. I'm thinking kill Sentius. If we kill him, he can't run over to the shrine and do the ritual, which is what brings us here in the first place. That would create a paradox. However, if we do that, all of these people are, they're stuck here. They're stuck here, they'll die. That's really not a good ending. We could then escape with Scintilla, where we've saved one person, but everyone else is still here. We could have Galerius send everyone over to the cisterns. Okay, we've saved everyone, however the golden rule is still in effect. And then we have this one. Deal with the golden rule. Like, I wanna fix things. I wanna fix things. I wanna do the thing. Oh, hello.
Incredible. Oh, what a relief.
Welcome.
I don't know what to say.
You don't need to say anything. Just rest up, get your strength back, and we'll celebrate properly when you're ready.
I will. Thank you, Ulpius. I will.
Okay, so that is... I'm not gonna lie, I was a little
Golden
concerned.
boy, just like Apollo and
I was a little concerned that... Don't worry. Don't worry, I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you. I keep getting distracted. Everything's happening. Everything's happening. Yeah, I was concerned that by having Galerius, like, okay, go tell Malleolus, his real identity. I was worried that wouldn't save Ulpius, but no, I assume that Galerius must have then gone to Ulpius and said, hey, you're freed. Malleolus has given the order, you're freed. So that's good. That's good. I'm very happy with that. I'm very happy with that. And now we make our way up to the temple. I've done everything I can. I want to fix things for these people. I don't just want to get everyone out and the golden rule is still in effect. I want these people to have the satisfaction and the safety of knowing the golden rule no longer applies. Okay, plank number 1. Plank number 2. Plank number 3. And as Equitea cries out, plank number 4. Woo! Enter the Great Temple. There we go. There we go. Oh. My dears. My dears. I just want one last look. One last look over this place. I'm feeling many things. I'm feeling some ways about this. I've really enjoyed my time with this game. And I will be sad to say goodbye to it. Ooh, Nelly. Okay. Alright. Hades, Lord of Many. Nurgle, Osiris, Pluto. Which name? Which name do you mean? You know, we'll go from the top. Hades, Lord of Many. Grant me an audience. Ooh. Okay, that didn't sound too good. Okay, you don't want Hades. Are you asking for his most recent name? Pluto, Father of Riches. Grant me an audience. Oh, and the Roman architecture, Greek architecture. We're going back. We're going back through history. Okay, I get it. I get it. I know what to do. Hades, Lord of Many. Grant me an audience. And everything's gone all Egyptian. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so intrigued to see what awaits us at the end of all of this. Osiris, Lord of Silence. Grant me an audience. And now, the Sumerians. Okay. Okay. Hello there, Editing Callista here. This is your final warning. We are about to enter the end of the game. We are about to come upon the White Corridor. If you have any interest in playing the game for yourself, you don't want the ending spoiled, then now is the time to leave. So please speak now or forever hold your peace. I'm giving you a minute. Okay, I'm going to assume you're fine seeing the ending of the game. Here we are. Nurgle, the fierce one. Grant me an audience. Woo! Pardon? Pardon? Excuse me? Whoa! What the? What the fuck? Pardon? I'm having a moment. I went from ancient Rome to the Citadel. Are we going to fight Harbinger? Is Sovereign here? Is the Star Child here? Hello? Is Shepherd here somewhere? What's happening?
And here you are. Allow me to introduce myself. As you have already gathered, I've been known by many names. Nergal to the Sumerians, Osiris to the Egyptians, Hades to the Greeks, and Pluto to the Romans. But the one constant through it all has been my title, God of the Underworld. And I've been watching you with curiosity, mortal. mortal, ever since your arrival. You're unlike the others, aren't you? And what is more, you carry a weapon that was never intended for mortals to wield, and you do it so brazenly. But there will be time for your reckoning later. First, as a reward for undoing the desecration of my obelisk, I will allow you to satisfy your curiosity. Ask what you will.
Mate, why is this sci-fi? What's happening? I need details. What's your story?
My story is many thousands of years long. You will need to be more specific. What do you wish to know?
You're a god.
It is a matter of perspective. God is a label I was given by you mortals, not one I gave myself. Your ancestors revered me because to them, my knowledge and technology made me incomprehensibly powerful, just as you might seem so to an insect. But despite all that, there are rules even I must obey.
Why do you look and sound like a man?
My kin and I all adopted this form long ago, so that we might better understand and communicate with your kind. In time, we grew fond of the sensory delights it affords: desire, joy, ecstasy, even rage and sorrow, while an acquired taste can be addictive.
Oh, I feel that. Sorrow is addictive. It's addictive feeling sad. The feeling of your heart squeezing. I feel you there. I feel you there. May I see your true form?
No. Long ago I swore to Persephone that I would remain in this form for as long as we remained among your kind. I must honor that.
Who is the woman on your left?
This is my beloved. Like me, she has been known by many names. Ereshkigal to the Sumerians, Isis to the Egyptians, Persephone to the Greeks, and Proserpina to the Romans. Or perhaps you might know her as the goddess of springtime, the cycle of life and renewal. Your gaze lingers too long.
Who is that on your right?
That is my servant. You would have met by the river, though she wears many faces and goes by many names. Kumutabal to the Sumerians, Kirti to the Egyptians, Charon to the Greeks, and Charon to the Romans. Her role is to ferry souls between the mortal world and this one, and to make their transition as seamless as possible. For that, she earned herself the infamous, if erroneous, moniker, the Ferryman. You will talk more later. For now, ask your questions.
Let's talk about something else.
As you wish.
What is this place?
It has come to be known simply as the underworld, and it exists because of a wager I made long ago.
What was the wager you made?
That is a long story, one that began over 3,000 years ago and continues to this day. You see, long ago my kin and I set out from our home on Elysium to search for other forms of life among the stars. We discovered your planet and witnessed your kind evolving from primates into something lawless and barbaric. You all but destroyed yourselves, your 2 short lives being extinguished by violence and ignorance and disease. Yet Proserpina saw raw potential in you, and persuaded the rest of us it would be squandered without our intervention and stewardship. So we revealed ourselves to your people in a place called Sumer. We offered guidance in agriculture, toolcraft, and law, and you called us gods. For a time you flourished, but soon you were too many for us to oversee. And as you spread from that cradle of civilization, we saw something disturbing. We had sown the seeds of dependency and confusion, and soon you returned to your old ways of violence and ignorance, this time in our name. My kin had seen enough, and gave up on your kind. condemning you as barbaric and chaotic, scarcely more than animals. We began preparations to return to Elysium, our home world, a utopia unspoilt by conflict and unimaginable in its beauty. But my Proserpina could not bear to abandon your kind without guidance, and knowing it would force the rest of us to leave her behind, she made an extraordinary sacrifice. She gave up her immortality to descend permanently to the ranks of humankind. And so she began her inescapable trajectory toward death. Horrified, I acted swiftly. I placed her in suspended animation in a deep frozen sleep to prevent age and sickness from claiming her. And then I pleaded with Proserpina's father, who the Romans called Jupiter, to bring her with us to Elysium. It was and is my hope that once there, we might one day learn to undo what she has done to herself. But he refused. I did everything I could to persuade him, but he would not relent. He would rigidly uphold his final pronouncement. Humans were unworthy of ascension to Elysium, and no exceptions would be made. But seeing that I was aggrieved, he proposed a wager, the terms of which were as follows. If even one human city could prove itself capable of living without sin for a single year, then Proserpina and all of humanity would be permitted to join us in Elysium. My part would be to remain behind, the last of my kind, to watch over you, without interfering, and to sit in silent judgment. And so my reward has been to languish here, enduring a 3,000-year winter, waiting for the day your kind proves itself worthy of her faith in you, so that I might take her with me to Elysium and unthaw my goddess of springtime. And here I am, after all this time, still waiting.
So aliens did it. I didn't. I'm having a moment. I'm having a moment. I wasn't entirely sure what the ending of this game was gonna be. I didn't think aliens done it was gonna be the answer. I'm having some emotional whiplash here. Like, this guy is really cool. He's really atmospheric. He's got the voice. He's got the right voice for this. I'm just at, like, 1 minute I was in ancient Rome and now I'm on the Citadel. Like, I'm experiencing whiplash here. I'm having a lot of whiplash. Who are your kin?
There were also gods who, like me, have been known by many names, but perhaps you knew them by their Roman names. Our leader, Jupiter, as well as Neptune, Saturn, Juno, Minerva, Mars, Venus, Apollo, Diana, Vulcan, Vesta, Ceres, and of course, my beloved Proserpina.
Who built the city?
As the first wave of your kind arrived from Sumer, I had them build a city in their own fashion, so that they might be comfortable and recreate their lives here. I had them build the entrance as a vertical shaft leading to baths, to cleanse them of the sins of their former lives, and to prevent escape. I watched wave after wave of Sumerians arrive, and as their civilization declined over the centuries, they were replaced by Egyptians. Of course, believing themselves to be the superior civilization, the Egyptians promptly built over what had been built before, and made all the same mistakes. After another 1,000 years, the Greeks began to arrive, and then the Romans, and they all did the same thing. They built upon the underworlds of their predecessors, renamed their gods, and ensured their foundations were forgotten.
How did you decide who comes here?
To ensure the wager was fair, it was important that my subjects were chosen at random. To this end, I had my servant distribute 1,000 tokens fashioned from silver, a rare element at the time, across all of Sumer. Whoever died while in possession of one of them would be located by my servant and ferried to this place, with no memory of how they arrived. As the tokens were discovered, they were traded, smelted, and fashioned into trinkets, and eventually coins, spreading to Egypt like seeds on the wind. Later, when they spread to Greece, they would come to be known as Charon's obol, or as coins for the ferryman. Some placed coins in the mouths of their dead, hoping they would awaken here, though they had no way of knowing which coins were fashioned from the original tokens. In fact, almost all of the tokens are accounted for. Only 2 remain. And so after this wave destroys itself, as it is destined to do, your kind will have squandered the last of its potential to ascend beyond this rock, and Persepolis along with it.
There are only 2 left, and I would assume the fact that they call, oh, there are only 2 left, we know you need to have one to come here. That must be us and Al. That must be us and Al. The coins, they lay somewhere, like they were probably buried. I mean, we're an archaeologist. I assume Al is too. I mean, he just wandered into these ruins. Like, who does that? Who does that? I assume an archaeologist, so they probably dug them up. And that's why they're here. Oh. How did humans learn about the underworld?
It is a regrettable story. One of the first men who came to this place was a king of Sumer, and a troublemaker. To be rid of him, I returned him to his people, on the condition that my servant erased his memories of this place. But the erasure did not take completely, and he told stories of this place as if describing memories of a dream. His tales were committed to writing, which came to be known as the Epic of Gilgamesh, and his words were twisted and distorted over generations. Later, the Egyptians would adapt Sumer's stories of the underworld, making them wildly intricate and labyrinthine. Their Book of the Dead and Book of Gates bore less and less resemblance to this place in their priests' pursuit of profit. Then, when the Greeks began to arrive, they proved far more cunning, and in a series of incidents that will not be repeated, 5 of them escaped. A warrior named Hercules, 2 kings named Sisyphus and Theseus, a poet named Orpheus, and a Trojan named Aeneas. They each told embellished tales of this place, how to get here, and how to escape. And so from Sumer to Egypt, Greece to Rome, your kind has always told each other stories about this place, though each story contained only a seed of truth.
Hey, 5 Greeks and hopefully 1 Briton. Let's talk about something else.
Of course.
Are you responsible for the Golden Rule?
That is merely the name your people have given to it, but yes, it is my doing.
Why turn people into gold?
That is a story dating back to the very first wave. After the Sumerians finished building their city, the self-declared ruler threw a banquet to celebrate. Now this man was unmarried, and many women were vying to become his wife. Prestigious position of power and influence in a new world. Of all the women, 2 were particularly ambitious. Both were beautiful, and both arrived at the banquet wearing eye-catching dresses and painted faces, their hair woven in elaborate fashion. The first woman, recognizing that she would require an advantage to win the ruler's affection, draped herself in jewelry, ornate necklaces, bracelets, and rings fashioned from gold. Seeing this ostentatious display, the second woman grew envious, for she had no such jewelry at her disposal. She prayed aloud to any gods that would listen to cover her in gold. And when her prayer went unanswered, she took matters into her own hands. While the others indulged at the banquet, the second woman summoned the first for a discussion in a quiet place. She checked that nobody was watching, and pushed her rival from the top of the ziggurat, where she broke her neck on the rocks below. But I was watching, and I decided to answer her prayer. I took the golden bow left behind by Diana, and I shot that woman in the heart, covering her from head to toe in a layer of molten gold. And I left her to stand there, that she might serve as a grim reminder of what befalls those who sin in my domain. But that was not enough, for the entire city was tainted by her sin, and the wager could no longer be won. So I had no choice but to wipe the slate clean. I gilded them all, to make way for a new wave, and began the wager again. And to this day, each of them, and all who came after, line the halls of this city, inanimate but conscious, suspended in time with only their sight and hearing preserved, so they may bear witness to and lament the folly of your kind for eternity, as silent golden sentinels.
So you're responsible for destroying all these lives?
I give your kind a second chance at life, as well as ample warning about my law. And when you disobey, and you always disobey, you force my hand, bringing terrible suffering upon yourselves. And so you ask if I'm the one destroying your lives. And I say, no, you destroy yourselves. I am merely the means by which you do it.
Where did these golden bows come from?
When my kin departed, they left behind many relics which I inherited. A consolation prize of sorts. The golden bow originally belonged to one of my kin, who the Romans called Diana. As my collection of golden statues grew, I chose the most ferocious among them, and equipped them each with a duplicate of her bow, and tasked them with hunting down the Forsaken at my behest. They became known simply as Furies.
What do you consider a sin?
I've always considered that the cornerstone of morality is the ability to determine right from wrong on one's own. No attempt to lay out rules like your Code of Hammurabi or your 12 Tables of the Roman Republic can ever cover all possible scenarios. This should come as no surprise to you, since the core principle has been expressed in many forms by many of your civilizations. The Egyptians made a rudimentary attempt with do to the doer to make him do. The Greeks refined it with avoid doing what you would blame others for doing. The Roman Stoics added, treat your inferior as you would wish your superior to treat you. Even the so-called cultists hiding among you often say, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. It is the simplest of concepts, and each one of you is born with the faculties required to apply it to any situation. Yet none of the peoples who expressed this rule were able to uphold it. Curious, is it not?
That principle is not as easy to apply as it sounds. It doesn't seem like you've been upholding it either. I've always lived my life like that. Lie. Let's not lie. Let's not lie. I mean, it's not that easy. It's not that easy. Life is complex. That principle is not as easy to apply as it sounds.
For you, perhaps.
How do you know when people sin?
I'm able to commune with all of the statues in the city. Their ears are my ears, and their eyes are my eyes.
Is Proserpina connected to the statues in the same way?
If she was still conscious, I suppose she could, but she's not. Why do you ask?
No reason.
Then what an odd question.
I've seen some terrible things here that you didn't consider a sin. How could you let them happen?
Do you plan to speak in sweeping generalizations? Or are you going to give me an example?
Ooh. Suicide, a scam, debt bondage, experiments on the golden statues, abduction, never mind. I mean, I don't necessarily consider this a sin, but fuck it, let's go through them. Suicide.
I've seen no such thing, but in any case, taking one's own life is a self-directed act. It is not one that is done to others, however they may be affected by it. Therefore, it cannot be said that one who commits suicide has done anything unto others.
Fair enough, that seems like an extremely literal interpretation of the rule. I disagree with that. I mean, I agree. I agree, you're doing it to yourself. Like, you are hurting people emotionally. You're, like, people will be devastated by your loss. However, I'm firmly of the opinion that, like, A, your life is yours to do with whatever you choose. And if you want to, you know, take yourself out before your time has come, like, I think everyone has that right. Everyone has the right to do with their life what they see fit. I'm gonna try and argue. Is arguing with this guy smart? I don't know if it's smart. I mean, we aren't... The whole reason why we're talking to this guy is we want to persuade him to end the golden rule, so I guess let's set our stall out from the beginning. That seems like an extremely literal interpretation of the rule.
Applying this rule always requires us to interpret the meaning of the words. A literal interpretation helps to minimize the ambiguities of your primitive language.
If our language is full of ambiguity, doesn't that make the rule inherently subjective and unreliable?
Supposing you're right, then my law has been broken, and I should turn you all to gold immediately. Is that what you want?
Oh. I mean, no. No, of course not. Never mind.
Now tell me, what other sins do you believe I have overlooked?
Ooh. I kind of want to see what he says about these other things. Yeah, I want to see what he has to say. A scam.
Ah, the tavern keeper, yes. How is that inconsistent with the rule?
She wouldn't want someone else to sell her hemlock if she thought she was buying a means of escape.
I disagree. Having watched that tavern keeper, that is precisely what she would expect from others. She would view it as a game, one she intends to win.
You can't know what she would expect. You're just speculating.
Applying this rule always requires speculation to some degree. It requires us to ask what another person would want if they found themselves in another situation.
I mean, we've literally just gone through this. Fair enough.
Now tell me, what other sins do you believe I have overlooked?
Yeah, we still have that. Yeah, I want to see his opinion on everything. Debt bondage.
You speak of the moneylender. How is that inconsistent with the rule?
He wouldn't want to be trapped in a 30-year labor contract because of a loan.
And he would never have signed a contract pledging his labor for 30 years. All he did was enforce the terms of a contract signed voluntarily by others.
The whole concept of debt bondage, like slavery, is unethical. It's illegal under international law. Have you actually brought up where we're from? Because we're from the future. Like, he has not mentioned this. He has not mentioned this at all. I want to hear his thoughts. The whole concept of debt bondage, like slavery, is unethical. It's illegal under international law where I'm from.
Ignoring your irritating sense of moral superiority. This is interesting. I'm curious, how do people escape poverty?
It's customary to take out a loan to buy a house, and in some places, pay for an education.
I see. And how long might it take such a person to repay their debt?
Yeah, this is exactly why I didn't go to university. I don't want to be in debt for the rest of my days. Fuck that noise. Balls to that. It depends. Typically decades. Sometimes their entire life. Also, there's an eye missing.
I fail to see how your system of loans is significantly different to a debt bondsman signing over his labor for 30 years.
Fair enough.
Now tell me, what other sins do you believe I have overlooked?
Experiments on the golden statues.
The midwife and the palace, yes. How is that inconsistent with the rule?
She wouldn't have wanted to be experimented upon if she was gilded.
The rule is do unto others, meaning other people. Those statues are something else now. Bloodless shadows, mere shapes of their former selves. They are forsaken. What happens to them is no concern of mine.
I see.
Now tell me, what other sins do you believe I have overlooked?
Abduction.
Abduction? You mean the magistrate imprisoning his daughter in the cistern, I take it. He did so because she sought to escape. A sin I take particularly seriously. Better that he stops her from escaping, albeit brutishly, than I have to wipe out this entire city to punish her. Wouldn't you agree?
Mate, you're nitpicking. You're nitpicking. Is a sin, or is it not a sin if you're doing it to do, like, mate, you're nitpicking, but, like, fair enough, fair enough.
Now tell me, what other sins do you believe I have overlooked?
It's no wonder people say the gods are cruel. This just shows how unreliable and subjective your moral code is. You're no better at judging right from wrong than any human.
Do you honestly think you could do better?
Yes. No, but that's my point. Nobody's grasp of right and wrong is so perfect they can be trusted with all this power. You've become a tyrant.
I should strike you down for that.
And if you did, you'd be proving my point.
Now, did you have any other questions before your reckoning?
Let's talk about something else.
Very well.
Okay, that's all the questions I had.
Good. Then now it is time for your reckoning. Only, it seems, something is wrong. It has long been within my power to see into the hearts of mortals and weigh their deeds in life. But when I peer into you, I see only a blank slate. As if you did not exist until you appeared in this city. How is this possible? Charon, where did you find this one?
I do not remember ferrying you. How did you come here?
Yeah, you haven't ferried me yet. I'm from the future. Maybe you're getting forgetful in your old age. Oh dear, I don't know. Because if we admit to this, well, how the fuck are you here? Or maybe you're getting forgetful. Well, no. I'm hoping maybe we can play dumb. Maybe we can play dumb. I'm from the future.
If that is true, then I sense the intervention of someone powerful.
How did you come to be in this time, mortal? Who brought you here?
We cannot know.
Proserpina did. I was hoping you could tell me. Lie, I came here on my... Play dumb. Play dumb. I was hoping you could tell me.
I do not know. My kin departed long ago, and Proserpina has slumbered for 3,000 years.
Shouldn't you know this as the god of the underworld? I guess that means you don't know everything that goes on. This opens up the questions of, like, oh, well, what is there? What more is there? Like, no, just... Shouldn't you know this as god of the underworld?
Tread lightly, mortal. Enough of this. It seems I will need to put your reckoning on hold for now. But answer this. Why have you come here? What is it you seek?
I'd like you to put an end to the golden rule. I just want to get out of here. I'm here to kill you. Never mind, I'll be... I like that. No. I'd like to put an end to the Golden Rule.
Your hubris is amusing, so I will allow you to make your case. But I warn you, if you anger me or waste my time with lies or wrong-headed arguments, you face death here. So, tell me, why should I put an end to the so-called Golden Rule?
Okay. Okay. If you're doing this for love, you should know that Proserpina. Let's not go into that. We don't want to, you know, put her in it. How can you expect us to live without sin if you can't do it yourself? The Golden Rule is corrupting this city and ensuring you'll never win the wager. Enough talk. I'm going to end this. Ooh. Okay. We've been told we need to get this right, otherwise we're gone. We're out. I mean, he's keeping us here against our will. I would say that's a sin. How can you expect us to live without sin if you can't do it yourself?
That is a very serious accusation, mortal. What sin have I committed? What evidence do you have to support it?
Didn't you abduct Proserpina and imprison her here? You've trapped people in this city against their will. You've given terrible punishments to hundreds of people, some for minor sins and some who committed no sins at all. Never mind, I'd like to change my eye. I mean, yet Proserpina chose to give up her immortality, and you've robbed her of that decision. Didn't you abduct Proserpina and imprison her here?
I am well aware of the story told by the Greeks and Romans of my so-called abduction. It is entirely unfair. My love was dying, and I intervened the only way I could to save her life. What would you have done?
But didn't she choose to die?
It was an act of rebellion against the others. She knew I would have to act to save her, and I did because I loved her. I love her still. Accordingly, I reject your argument.
Okay. I feel like I'm on thin ice here. I feel... I mean, that's a thing. Like, one person commits a sin, and then people who are entirely innocent get caught in the crossfire. You've given terrible punishments to hundreds of people, some for minor sins, and some who committed no sins at all.
Every one of those people was guilty of failing to ensure their peers lived virtuously. They failed collectively, and so they were punished collectively. The Romans understand this, as did the Greeks before them.
Where I'm from, collective punishment is considered one of the most egregious crimes there is. If our positions were reversed, you wouldn't want me to punish you for the sins of other people. This is morally superior. He doesn't like that. We know that. If our positions were reversed, you wouldn't want me to punish you for the sins of other people.
Ah, but I am a god, and you are a mortal. Why would you expect me to treat you as I treat my own kind? You are not a peer. You are not a respected equal. Let me ask you this. Do you treat insects as you wish to be treated? Do you care for their well-being as you would your fellow man? Do you ensure they have food and shelter and protection from predators? Do you give them rights?
Yes, line. I could be an entomologist. I could love bugs. And I've got like a whole setup of them, but I don't want to push my luck here, no.
Of course not. Because that would be absurd. Just as it would be absurd for me to treat your kind as equals.
Fair point. What makes your kind superior to mine? Your kind and mine can't be so different given that you're in love with one of us. What makes your kind superior to mine?
Where to begin? Our lifespans exceed yours by thousands of years, in which time we accumulate vast wisdom and a mastery of technology you cannot begin to imagine.
Why does wisdom and technology make you superior? Lifespan, so you're not immortal? Who gives a shit about immortality? Why does wisdom and technology make you superior?
Because that is the source of our power over you.
Fair point. So you think you're not obliged to treat us fairly because you're more powerful than us?
You could say that.
I can't think of a good counter... What is it the Roman Stoics said? Treat your inferior as you would wish your superior to treat you?
My kin have no superiors.
But didn't you... Yes! But didn't you say Jupiter was your leader? There's a hierarchy within your kin.
That is true. Go on.
So are you treating humans the way you would wish Jupiter to treat you?
Make your point, mortal.
I'm saying, if you can't follow your own rule, how can you expect humans to? I'm saying you're an arrogant amortal. No. I'm saying, if you can't follow your own rule, how can you expect humans to?
Let me ponder that for a moment. If you're right, then it would follow that all this time I have been in the wrong. But no. The very thought of it grieves me. How can I accept your argument when doing so would make me a tyrant and a monster?
It's the truth. You've committed atrocities and you need to own up to it. You're not a monster, you're a human. And you make mistakes. I don't feel like this guy is very alpha. This guy is very alpha, and I think us trying to be alpha in response, I don't think that's going to end well. You're not a monster. You're human, and you made a mistake.
Wait, what? What are you saying?
Humans make mistakes. It's in our nature. All humans have a tendency towards sin. We all do it. No. Humans make mistakes. It's in our nature.
You have spoken eloquently, and yet, if what you say is true, it follows that my wager was fatally flawed from the beginning. But that would mean Jupiter, Chrysobeda's father, who knew more about you than anyone, proposed a wager I could never win. Why would he do that?
Perhaps he made a mistake too. Perhaps he wanted you to abandon the wager so Proserpina would be free from you. Perhaps he felt threatened by you and didn't want a potential challenger in Elysium. Perhaps he left you behind because even your own kind didn't want you. Perhaps he made a mistake too.
A mistake? But he's the best and greatest of us.
You're no better than us. You're a monster on a power trip. Perhaps when you took on human form, you took on some human foibles as well.
Your words sting me, mortal. But perhaps it is what I deserve. As difficult as this is to admit, I have suspected as much for a long time now. And I cannot deny it any longer. I've been so fixated on taking my beloved to Elysium that every time one of you sinned, it wore away my hope of being with her again. In time, I began to despise your kind for making her believe that you could ever be better than you are. But my rage was not born of malice. Quite the opposite. Everything I have done, I did because I loved her. Who knew this empathy of yours, which you celebrate so much, could have such a dark underside? This has gone on too long. It is time for me to let go of this form, of her, of all of you. But know this, if I abandon the wager and leave for Elysium, neither she nor your kind may ever ascend.
Who gives a shit about Elysium? We just want to return to the world.
Very well. I will have Charon make arrangements to ferry the others. But as for you, be aware you will be separated from the rest.
Why? That's not because I'm from a different time. Why?
Once this exodus begins, the events that brought you to this moment will never have taken place, and you will have created a paradox. What will become of you is difficult to predict, but that is the risk you have taken by interfering in the natural flow of time. Now, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Farewell, mortal.
Farewell. Hello? Well, there's out, and here we are in the remains of the temple. Now I've been recording for about an hour. This episode is going to be an hour long. I'm not entirely sure how much of the game is left. I'm gonna put a cut in here. I mean, if there's only like 5 minutes, then that's fine. I'll just cut this out. But just in case there is a bit more to this, I'm gonna bring this episode to a close right here. In the next one, we finally get to meet Alworth. But until then, please remember to like if you enjoyed, leave a comment below, and if you wanted to subscribe, it would be very much appreciated. A special thanks to my channel members, such as SM2K, Christopher K. Davis, CGG, and Kevin Bicknell. I've been Callista. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next episode.